evening once again, and welcome to another Kaiso Talk. It is always such a pleasure to be here on a Wednesday evening to talk Kaiso. Chatting Kaiso. Chalk did a Kaiso some years ago. It spoke about how Kaiso practically saved him. If it wasn't for Kaiso, he would have been in sorrow, and he outlined a whole set of things. And just chatting Kaiso can just put you in a whole different sphere, and I think my colleagues will agree with me. But it's good to be back, and we welcome our viewers on GBN Television, our friends on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also listeners on K105 FM. Val is with me as usual, and joining us again, the man himself, the man of the moment in Kaiso, celebrating 50 years, Mr. Eric Taylor, the Pink Panther. Just came off the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, and the man did it like only how he and probably Lord Kitchener could do it, because that Reno Raman Sugar Boom Boom, I tell you something. Anyway, we're going to get to that. But Val, good evening, man. How are you doing? Have you gotten your much deserved rest after 3 days of hard work? But
yes. So first of all, good evening, Grenada. Good evening, PT Martinique and Cairo. Good evening to all the listeners on GBN and the other stations and everywhere where this broadcast is being heard. So that after a hectic Legends, got back home, got some rest. Took me about 3 days to kind of recuperate. Didn't realize I was so drained. But I'm good. I'm back and good. I'm ready to talk Kaiso.
Yes, indeed. Panther, how about you, man? Good to have you back. How about you?
I'm happy to be back. I'm Godfrey and Valton, and to GBN family, as Valton said, people of Petit Martinique and Carriacou. A nice good evening to everyone.
Yes, indeed. Have you gotten your rest after doing your thing, and you're good to go again? You could take on another Legends.
I don't know the rest, how the rest coming in, because I still in the Legends frame of mind. I still in the place.
In the trade center?
I still.
Right. That's good. That's commendable.
Yes, it is. Well, let me just say, on behalf of the program, because we've highlighted a lot of the legends on the program here, on behalf of the program and the other guys, say a special thanks to all the people who came out, and really enjoyed it. In fact, up to today, people are meeting me and telling me that was the best one. I don't know. The thing about it is, boy, every time you have a Legends in Concert, people tell you, boy, that one was the best one, and it's a wonderful feeling. More so for Calypso, as far as I am concerned. Because so many times you hear about Kaiso dying, but those of us who were at the just concluded Legends, this is not even far from the truth. It's real far from the truth. So,
yes.
I must say thanks to all the people who came out, and supported Kaiso again, who continue to support Kaiso. So many regular faces that we've seen, time and time again coming out and supporting the art form. It's such a wonderful feeling, and of course, without the Kaisonians themselves, you couldn't have a Legends. So a very special thanks to them, and also to our partners who supported, who had the confidence in us to put monies behind it to ensure that it was a success. So I'm just extending thanks again to everyone, and we've already started planning for the 20th anniversary. So in fact, I'm going to tell all you something. We already booked 2 artists for November 8th, 2026. But that is as much as I could tell you, because if I go to say more Val and Panta, I just cut off and just decide they're doing a program again. But anyway, guys, listen, let me Val, let me come to you. The 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert. Let's talk.
Yeah, well, you did say that people are meeting you and telling you how great it was, and that it was the best Legends. So that and I am saying that is quite commendable, because I know for a fact that and we have a Legends in Concert. That last year with Super and others were there, that was the best. And previous to that, we had other artists on board. I remember Kaiso turning the place into splinters, and that was the best. And there are others going back. I remember Loving There and Red Plastic Bag and so on. And every time, days after, people would say that was the best Legend.
David Rudder, you remember David Rudder and
of course,
and it was Winston Soso. They were on the same one.
And Laro,
Lord Laro,
and so on. Right, even Dave Martin and the Trade Winds, right? He came with David. I mean, so that we have some amazing shows, right? And every time people are commenting, this is the best. So it says something about the team, and it says something about our vision in terms of keeping this thing we call Legends alive and making it truly an amazing Legends in Concert, that we bring people who are highly respected and people are guaranteed to come out and have a good show. So that you mentioned those very steadfast patrons. I don't know all, because of course I'm not Grenadian, but there hasn't been a concert that I haven't seen Randall and his wife attending.
Right.
I can't remember being at a concert where I haven't seen Randall, probably in about the 3rd row on the right, sitting there, religiously every Legends in Concert. And there are others like him. So that says a lot, so that not to pat ourselves on our backs, but clearly it seems that we are doing something right. And let's hope that we continue to be blessed and continue to always be forward thinking in having a concert that people really appreciate. So I definitely appreciate this 19th version, where we had the largest cast of locals. And they all
actually the largest cast ever. We had 12 artists performing.
12
so it was the largest cast.
And normally we would have 6 or 7. So that it was amazing, from starting from Superstar and ending with Father Gerard Paul. I mean, it was an amazing show.
And interestingly, Val, it is the first time on Legends we've had a local female Calypsonian performing at Legends in Concert.
And quite a good find. Let's say. I mean, there are others, and she really stepped up to the plate. I know that her sisters or others coming from Cairo told her that she probably sold out. She's spending too much of time in Grenada, she needs to visit Cairo some more. So that all of that banter and thing that is taking place in the backstage, I can see the people really getting together and sharing and having and taking pictures. Amazing scenes backstage, amazing scenes on the stage and in the audience. Quite a show. So let me pause there.
Panzer, indeed. Panzer, this is your third? I think it's your third Legends in Concert. Yeah, this one I know it was very special because, being able to get to a 50-year milestone is no ordinary feat. And there were people at Legends this year who, when you started singing Calypso, were not born yet. So 50 years is significant. Let's talk about the Legends, and I want you to go back probably to your first and this last one, the experiences, how it has been for you, and we'll talk more about this just concluded one.
Okay, well, sometime in the Calypso tent, you have a season which might comprise of that. That's well these days. Let me say you have 12 shows, huh? With the same cast, more or less, the 12 shows. But no show is like the other.
Right.
So that was the 19th edition of Legends in Grenada. And it's interesting that we are looking back at the 19th show on the 19th, because today is the 19th.
Yeah, but I didn't even realize that.
Very good.
Yes, interesting.
I remember I was on a show on the Legends, and you had this guy from Barbados there, Griner.
Yeah.
I also remember you had this guy from, Jamaica.
That was Love in Dear.
Not Love in Dear.
No, I know what you're talking about. The short guy.
Yes.
Gosh.
That's which one? Oni Smith? Oh, Eric Donaldson. Eric Donaldson. Yes.
So, whilst no Legend show is really better than the next one, we could safely say that Legends 19 was the most recent best. You understand?
Okay. Was the last best?
Hey, I am so happy the way Grenada and Grenadians and GBN and your team, how you all treat me. I feel really, really special. The standing ovation wasn't like some stand up here and then some stand up over there. It was
everybody,
so there's no words I could express how I felt that night, except to say that Grenada, you always know I talk about Sortes, where my grandmother from, but I really appreciate the love that you have shown to me, not just at the concert, but throughout my career. Every time I would have come to Grenada, it was always a nice experience. And if there was a way you could have, charged an admission to the backstage. People just pay to come in the front stage to see the front. But there's a kind of chemistry that does take place in the backstage that, oh boy, is out of this world. And you see this particular cast that you all put together this time with Papa Jerry and Father Gerard Paul and all of them, Smalley and Squeezy and the girl from, as Valton said, the girl from Carriacou.
Superstar, yeah.
A Big J and Cox.
Yeah. Teacher Eddie.
Kelly, Scholar, yeah.
But a good friend. Because you're my girlfriend.
Ice man, me.
Entertainment to the max, So in 50 years, I would have been involved in many shows in many parts of the world and many, many different shows. But you see, that show, I'm telling you, Legends 20, I know you haven't contract me yet, but I tell you, thing or no thing.
You come in.
My God is great. I will, once God give me health and strength and resources, I will never miss a next Legends concert. To me, that is like, for a Calypsonian, that is like your Grammys. It's big. It's really big. And hats off to you, Godfrey and Valton and the team. I mean, the treatment you get from that team encourage you, you know. Just looking at Chan on the backstage, you feel secure.
Chan?
You have a Diane kind of persona, you know. You feel everything is pretty here. And don't talk about Kareem and the others, your wife.
Oh, Kareem, yeah.
It's a pity that, you know, they don't have them on the show tonight, because we had to find a forum where all the people that contribute to the whole could be part of the feedback then, of the feedback.
Right. You know, someone said to me, but wait now, I have never been to a show and see the promoter and them Kaisonians liming together. Normally the promoters hide from the Kaisonians.
Yes. That is so true. There'll be no sad stories.
It made sense. It is true. You don't normally see that. A lot of times you don't even know who the promoter is. You know what I mean? But everybody was just hanging out and liming, and you know, today I was looking at, because in the corner by the speakers there, Smallies, Jerry, Kelly, Big J, they were just singing along with Panther, you know, the four of them and doing that. And I think I may have taken a little clip of that and I posted it on the Legends page. Today I was looking at this and I keep getting notifications on the page, you know, for the reel, and I wasn't really paying close attention. And today I looked at it, and to my surprise, that little clip, just about a minute, garnered 14.5 thousand views.
Wow.
I was totally shocked. I mean, I was like, but people, I kept getting the notification and I just wasn't. But today I was just kind of going through some of the little clips and I looked at it and I'm like, but wait a minute. 14 point something thousand views. That's
a lot.
That is a lot. I mean, the Kaisonians were just there singing along with Panther and you know, going on, and it was just so wonderful, you know, to see them all together, liming and chatting and you know, just extempoing and doing all sorts of things, and that was such a joy. I mean, to see, you know.
MC Godfrey, the MC was excellent, you know.
Robert, let me tell you something. Robert is a kind of fella.
He's a boss. I met him in Barbados a few weeks ago for Carry Festa. He was part of the Grenadian contingent. And let me say that they did Grenada very proud. This just concluded Carry Festa in Barbados. They're very, very good. And he handled that stage so far. I told him, I said, boy, you really was like the glue that held this program together. He did a good job. You know, he didn't start it because he had a little difficulty reaching the venue, but Kareem did a nice introduction. And he took over, and it was really, really nice.
No, Robert he's a master. And you know, I actually the first last year with Super Blue, I was talking to Robert after, and I said, but Robert, wait a minute. You are the MC. I look around and I see you in a conga line in the hall. What are you doing there?
That's it.
And that's a kind of intimacy and you know, beauty of the event like that. You know, when the artists, they would just step down from the stage into the crowd and people would just, you know, swarm them and just have fun. And I mean, these moments are so wonderful.
Yes.
Really.
Well, I wonder, probably explore the fact that while we could reminisce all night about the show,
Yes.
but I think that since it is very clear that every legend in concert makes a statement, and such a potent statement that people are always making things that which is the best. You know, as Panther rightly say, this is the 90s is the most recent
the last best.
The last best, you know. But why is it that a concert calypso concert in Grenada, mainly calypso, but it is I would call it a Caribbean music song contest show, draws that kind of one crowd and supports and the crowd leaving with such a feeling of gratification. Why in Grenada? And when you juxtapose that against probably what is happening at home in Trinidad with diminishing tent participation and so on, from the calypsonians to the musicians who came on last year and this year felt the very same way.
Yeah.
I mean, every artist feels really happy to be playing to a full house or near full house, whatever, and it does something to you, so that you come to Grenada and you get that level of appreciation from the audience, because they're dancing in the aisles, they're singing, they are even throwing pecan and so on, and it is that kind of interaction. Why? Godfrey as a resident Grenadian. Why? Why that happens?
I mean, I wonder if I know, boy. Let me tell you, I think the one of the things has a lot to do with the intimacy of the venue. Don't take the venue lightly. I think the venue, one, plays a very significant role in that, because you have that intimacy. People generally like to feel part of something. You go to an event, let's say, for example, you go to an event in a stadium or in a huge venue where the artist performing is almost 100 feet away from you. You see him, but that feeling of intimacy is not there. Let's compare that to the Trade Center, where you're sitting, nice air-conditioned, venue, enjoying the show, and the artist walks down and starts, doing his thing, put the mic in front of you to sing a line with him, you get up and, you dance, and all of these things, to me, I think it really makes people happy. I think it does. Another thing I believe also, over the years, we've been able to create something that I think very few shows can do. When we say that we are starting at 5 p.m., when 5 p.m. we start, I mean, and this has become now like a norm. Yeah. So it's not a very difficult thing to try to, be rushing and, to try to start on time. We have done it so many times that it just comes natural. And I think over the years, people have learned and they understand that, look, if I come 10 past 5, I would probably miss a part of, and people don't like that. So they know that. And we try to keep it within reasonable time, about 4 hours, because after that people start to get a little restless, uneasy, and so over the years you learn, you pay attention, you listen to what people are saying, and you make the adjustments. And it's not like you wouldn't have mistakes or errors, but as you go along, you try as much as possible not to repeat mistakes that you made before. Better you make a new mistake, but not repeat mistakes you make before. And I think this is something that we've been able to do with Legends in Concert, and it's working. It is working. I also believe that there is this... People love Calypso. But you as a promoter and as a team, putting on an event, you have to be able to know what people will react to, what people like. And so you have to help the Calypsonians. I mean, let's say for example, Panther coming from Trinidad. I would probably have a better idea because one, I'm on the radio, I'm on the television, I play the music, I get feedback, so I probably may have a better idea than even Panther what the people in Grenada would like to hear from him more than him.
Right, yes.
So it's a lot of little things that you have to sort of put together, and I've seen it worked negatively where we've advised artists on what we want from them, and they've decided to go contrary, and people just sit down and look at them, and they just had to go off the stage. I mean, I remember some years ago we had J.C. Lodge, and while J.C. Lodge is a well-loved artist, we sort of provided some guidance as to, what she should perform. Because, I mean, you know what people like from J.C. Lodge. And they decided, she and the management, that they're going to go out and do their full thing and sing songs that people didn't know. And everybody just sat down there and looked at her. And that was it.
That's so true, because that happened a few weeks ago. I was at a show where the promoter, who has a radio station, and he told the artist, I won't call his name, he told the artist to sing so. But when the artist reached there, the artist have his own, he was so, and fell flat on the show. In fact, when he was singing, people was walking out. Well, if he had just listened to the expert advice then, he would have been still singing. But the people didn't want to hear what he was singing, the other songs they wanted from his repertoire.
That's a thing. So these are things that you have to understand. And if you don't get it, then you could end up in problems. And one other thing before I come back to you all, I think that we've been able to do over the years is to pull something from the bag that no one expects. Sometimes you have a cast, you've recycled, but we've been, maybe it's luck, we've been able to pull something that people like, wow, I didn't remember that. This year we had Father Paul, and very early we were promoting this special surprise, and nobody had a clue. People could not have guessed that it was going to be him. And so when we eventually put out the ad with him, that ad hit 80,000 views just like that. I mean, people were commenting. I mean, people were saying all sorts of things, and people were, they were just crazy about it.
Yeah.
So being able to do these little things can make a difference and kind of help to bring people out, among other things.
Right. Yes.
Well, I want to jump in here because Val asked the question, what you think would have alluded to this kind of special response to the legends. Godfrey, you make a point there with the trade center, right? Now, it could well be you could take the same show and put it somewhere else, and it wouldn't be the same. So,
agreed.
To me, not just the intimacy of the venue, I think the venue in itself is a calypso venue. You see? Calypso have venues,
Yeah.
You will take the same semi-finalists out of Skinner Park and put them in Arima. It wouldn't be the same. It would not be the same thing. The venue has a role to play in the production. So we must never underestimate the power of the venue. And that trade center, I know, has been a place where a lot of artists who would have transcended and who still live in have performed. So that is a calypso venue. And then the other thing, as Stalin said, you see the part-time loving is not for me. That's what Calypso say. Calypso say she want a full-time lover. And Calypso, in Legends, is loved. The people come out and show their true love for Calypso. From the time we reach in the airport to the time we go back, is love, love, love.
You feel the thing.
In the hotel where we stay, when the staff realizes Black Prince here and Pink Panther, oh my God, they come there. You're getting the love off of the stage, you see? So I believe once Calypso is receiving genuine love, and Grenadians are famous for that, for showing the love for Calypso. Once Calypso is receiving the genuine love, you will see something that something else. So what happened there at the 19th is because of the love that Grenadians have for Calypso. And Calypso does reciprocate with brilliance. That night, man, I mean, at Val said we could talk about that whole time, but that night showcase what genuine Calypso love does bring about, you know. Everybody in the audience, the musicians was on point. And you see now, I think we suffer in Trinidad Valley because we don't treat the Calypso lovers with respect. You understand? We only want to buy ticket and come. We should find a way, because our audiences now, we know who they are. It's mature people that come in to sit down and listen to Calypso. And we have to find a way as Calypsonians, as promoters, to show love too. To the people that support us over the years. You know, say that you always see Randall, that's what's his name? Rob Robinson.
Yeah.
Robinson. You always see him in the audience. So that's the man we have to show love too. You understand? But sometimes promoters and we Calypsonians, we only interested in when they buy the ticket. That wouldn't work. We have to reciprocate that love to the people that love Calypso.
But you see Randall was dancing Shango?
And I'm always backstage, so I didn't see that.
Yeah, what actually during Cox's performance, Cox went down when he was doing that Baptist chant, and he brought Randall in front, and Randall put on up his Shango there. I mean, what happened to you? He was
I had to talk to Randall about where he got that from.
The man is good idea, Randall.
How you and Valley connect, boy? How you and Valton connect? That is a very important connection that was made for Calypso, you know. How you and Valton connect?
We didn't connect to Calypso, you know. We connect to Soca.
Another grenade.
Don't talk on
it. It's very easy. Another Grenadian from River Road, you know, who is also, of course, the Soca Monarch. Promoter, the guru of Soca Monarch. In one incarnation somewhere there, he brought Godfrey to Trinidad.
Well, I'll tell you why, actually, and it comes back to Legends. When we did the very first Legends in 2006, we invited him to come. And he came and he looked at it, and after the show he said to me, no, I need you to come down and work with me. All right. And that's how we connected. So I actually worked with the Soca Monarch in 2007 and 2008. You know, and that's how me and Val connected and everything. And while I was there, you know, I used the opportunity to make contact with other Calypsonians and befriend some of them, and we became very good friends. And that transcended into, you know. But I'll tell you though, and I must mention this as we head to the 20th anniversary. The Calypsonian what really helped me with the very first Legends was my very good friend Winston Peters, Gypsy. Because when we wanted, because I didn't come to Trinidad yet, that was in 2006. So when I wanted to make contact, I spoke with him and I told him what we wanted to do, and he said, "No man, I'll organize." And he made contact with everybody, including Campanero, who was on the very first Legends. In fact, Panther, Gypsy is the only artist Trinidadian artists from the first legends that is still alive. We've lost the others. So we've had Duke. We've lost Duke. We've lost Campanero. We've lost Funny. We've lost Black Stalin.
Wow.
Yeah. So Gypsy is the only one alive from the first legends. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it was him who made all the contact initially, and as time went on, we had this thing going, and this is where we are today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Valia, you were talking about it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
when you and Valton met each other, that was a great thing for Calypso.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very easy. The Godfrey and Stacy came to Trinidad, and I think I took on the responsibility of making them feel at home, welcome.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And make sure that they're ingredients so that they couldn't be eating chicken and chips and so on every day. So there was a very nice eating establishment on Henry Street there that served some very good local food. Close to
I always remember that cassava boy. Let me tell you something.
Cassava, fish and so on. So I couldn't allow them to eat this kind of fast food every day and so.
But as Val talk about Food Panther, I remember we had this thing going. There was this fella called Bryce. Both Val, you remember Bryce, right?
Yes, of course.
So we, William had this turkey in his fridge months, and he didn't know how to prepare it anyway. So we were there, and he said, "Well, you could bake turkey." And I said, "Well, of course." He said, "Well, this turkey there, how long? Bake the turkey and bring it down. Let's, we go eat that." So me and Stacy, we stayed back and we, prepared the turkey and everything, did all the filling and put it in the oven. And then the lady who was there, we told her, look, once it's finished baking, send it down. And she did so. And we were out, going different places, doing interviews, and so the turkey came down. And when we came back, we realized that there's only bones that was remaining, but the turkey was the talk in the office that day. And interestingly, we're sitting there, and Bryce is explaining to them how he baked the turkey. Wait. And William watching me like that on the side of his eye. He only watching me and shaking his head because he know Bryce wasn't even close to the house that day at all. But Bryce took on all the credit for making the turkey. And we had to end up eating Chinese that day. And Bryce, I call Bryce make the turkey. So but we had some really good times, it was really wonderful. And I think all of that, and you spoke of the Love Panther, and I think all of these things, coming together, had their part to play in where we are today with Legends. It does have its part to play. So I mean, there's so much wonderful memories you can go back on. But it was really, really, really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah. And they were.
I want us to still explore the fact that while a lot of what you were saying is relevant in terms of the why the show is successful, why people tend to gravitate to it, that when I again look at or juxtapose in terms of Trinidad and how our environment has changed in terms of Calypso and Calypso appreciation. I want to posit that one of the reasons for the success is the fact that Grenada, in terms of culturally, has not shifted to becoming so close to the Trinidad model, where Trinidad kind of moved towards becoming a kind of one of the states, one of those the 53rd states
right.
of America. You know, so buildings and so on and so on. And once that happens, that the whole ecosystem shifts. And if the ecosystem shifts, then the culture would shift.
Oh, definitely. You know? Definitely. Mm-hmm.
And I think that what you see in Grenada, because it is still so very organic, you know, is that appreciation, because Calypso comes from that very organic space, and the appreciation for it remains, so that you feel that sense of, as Panther say, from the time you touch down at the airport, people are aware that it is happening. And they greet you. The custom officers are not as stiff and officious as if you walk in through Piaco.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that. You know, in Trinidad, you come through customs and the officers are always very officious, you know, even if you're Trinidadian. But here you are a Caribbean person coming to Grenada, and what reason for coming, you know, business or pleasure or whatever, and they think, and they are so polite, and you know, it's so different.
Yeah.
And that you could see it being transmitted right through to everything, right down to the street.
In fact,
I think that environment, it has to.
In fact, Val, the morning when you all came, there was I think he was one of the taxi drivers. He had called, kind of beckoned me to the side, and he was asking me, say, which Calypsonian is this one? And he was referring to Black Prince. And I said, well, that's a Black Prince. And he's like, apparently there was a little conversation on the side between he and one of his colleagues about who he was. But they want to show. So they kind of wanted confirmation. And you know that there was this, you know, conversation taking place about, well, these are the guys that come for legends. And so immediately the interest is there. It rises, and all of that transcends. So I mean, it's correct. You know, all our love and everything, it works. It works well.
As Balton said, the customs officer in Grenada is not as officious as in Trinidad and thing, but more than that, you know, Balton. You know, when you're a plane land, it is that people on the tarmac there standing up by the staircase, and you know, like they walking with the airport and thing. You know what I'm talking about? When you come down,
yes. The
guys, yes.
And walk here and walk there. The love start from there.
Yes.
From the time you come down, they say, "Hey, Panther!"
Yes. Indeed. You know, it is wonderful. It is. So you know, I also just want to talk a little bit, Val, about some of the artists, you know. So we had, of course, superstar teacher Eddie Cox, Big J, Smallies, Prince, Kelly, Squeezy, Scholar, Panther, Jared Paul, Papa Jerry. And we did, of course, very early mention the heavy local cast. And I think one of the things that really had people going, was how well the local guys handled themselves. I mean, a lot of people made mention of Papa Jerry and Squeezy. Yeah. I mean, and those guys, they were really, really, really good. And I thought Superstar went out there, opened. I've been calling her the Queen of the Pack. Opened and forced everybody else to up their game.
Yeah.
You couldn't have just gone there. I mean, Superstar came on, did her thing, and left everybody else. Listen, hey, look at what just happened there. And
the show started. Yeah, the show started with her. I mean, she did not. It's not like the West Indies now, where you're really struggling for an opener. You know, Superstar open the innings.
Like Gordon Greenwich, like a Gordon Greenwich.
Yeah, like a serious, like a veteran. Went out there, opened the innings. Two beautiful songs. I love her melodies. The melody, the melodic lines and so on. Beautiful, dressed in yellow and so on, and I wouldn't call her petite. She is short, but not petite. Went out there and claim her space.
Yes, she did. Boy.
And from doing that, Prince came out there after and showed why a good calypso cannot fail.
That's right.
So that even when he, because of the air conditioning and so on, had a bit of a bug in the throat and he was fighting against it, yet those calypsos are so beautifully crafted.
I mean, he had people just taking in, and I'm like, but wait a minute, because I got a little concerned for him the day before at the rehearsal with the voice and everything.
Yes.
And he was able to overcome that and come out there with his guitar, and it was just so beautiful.
The power of a good calypso. Even a risky comment from a member of the audience that I will never forget, because he did complain about having a little sore throat, and she said, "I have something here for you."
A fisherman friend.
Yes, let's say that. That all of those things are so beautiful, so beautiful.
Indeed.
So that everyone, as I say, from superstar right down to thing, did fare well. When Jerry came on, I know that there was Eddie, and what I like about Eddie is that apart from doing his thing, Eddie is also responsible for some of the music that you're hearing.
A lot of it.
In terms of Superstar and others, Big J,
Rootsman Kelly.
Rootsman Kelly, right? Eddie is responsible for a lot of that and so on. So that's amazing. So he came out there and he did his thing, Samantha and the other song and so on. And then Jerry came as if he was closing that
Jerry,
blow the thing wide open and started a whole new thing, because by the time he leave, he was really the fireman. He set that place ablaze. And it just had to keep going. It was amazing.
And then of course the legend Smallies, and you realize the guys, they came with a little presentation as well. That song Port of Spain, Smallies did that song in 1998, dressed in his same suit.
Oh my God!
That was the suit that he performed with that song at the final with the Trinidad flag. In those days, the government at the time, Trinidad was buying up everything in Grenada, and and Smallies, crafted that. Grenada is like Port of Spain. Take no plane again. A motor car go take you there, and he was just, dressed in his suit, the flag of Trinidad and Tobago, and there he was back again. And that's another thing. The artists have now taken on the event. We had Kelly performing in his clown suit when he did Polycomedian. That was the suit he used in the March Gras when he did that song. So it was really good. Cox in his Baptist attire, he used that. That was his outfit at the semi-final. So you're seeing how the Calypsonians are actually getting into the thing and creating a whole new kind of stage presence.
Yes.
That camaraderie between those Calypsonians in Grenada, they're based there, and us. it was so fluid and so full of life and electrifying. Even in the rehearsals, everybody supporting each other. And you see that that lady that started the show you're talking about, what you call her?
Superstar.
Well, I can't remember that. I just call her Jermaine Simon.
Well, that's her name, yeah. That's just her name.
But you remember she dressed in yellow, like she know the Trinidad code. You understand? But she, to me, it have a lot of females singing calypso and thing today, but most of them they like the soca thing now. They like the thing. But calypso always needed somebody like her to really, be with the calypsonians. Then you see like Rose, Francine and Princess and calypso always had a female presence.
Our house here, Sandra and others, yeah.
You see this German Simon, watch it there. She has come to play her part.
Well, she is the reigning independence monarch, in Grenada.
Yes, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, she's the reigning independence monarch. Yeah.
Mother used to sing calypso too.
Her mother, her sister, yeah.
The calypso in her.
Yeah.
It's in her.
In fact, I think her sister probably won the junior monarch. I think maybe the guy present now, Moti. That's our concern. But between the two of them, they've held on to the junior crown for the longest. Yeah. Her sister name was Pinky Diane Simon. Very, very, very good. She was assisted by the African teller. He's died as well. So he wrote a lot for Pinky. And yeah, so there's this Kaiso thing in the family, yes, that runs in the family. So
welcome home.
Yeah,
definitely.
The show also featured a kind of coming of age in terms of Grenada's calypso.
Yeah,
yes,
that it has the strength to command that audience. I know that the carnival not too long finished and so on, but you have this very 10 locals on the stage, and people responded to them. I know a friend of mine told me that his sister, who probably lives abroad, she was so appreciative of, she said, what she terms of scholars' humor.
Oh yeah, he is. We had to talk about him just now. He has a special kind of skill that I think,
it's humor, and one doesn't normally associate him with humor, But
well, you might be surprised. He has a very, very funny side that a lot of people. We do a program on Friday evenings called We Culture, and you would be surprised that this is not the same fella who goes on a stage and belch out Kaiso and tear people apart. He has a side that people, and I think the We Culture program brought that out. He's very, 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 very cultural. When you listen to him, when you speak to him, about how things were and the way they are, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed.
Right.
You'd be amazed.
He's coming from a place of heritage and understanding of it. Yeah, so that you have the mix of the artists that earlier on you commented that that clip that went viral in a way. Where Panther is singing Misprint, right? And the guys at the side there are singing line for line,
Yep.
And that cultural sharing also is taking place, right? That always we are learning from one another. It is no mistake that Grenada have birthed so many of the Calypsonians who have come to Trinidad and done well. They did not leave with the stature that they ended up with, So that we had, Bomber, right, coming across as a teenager, and the mere fact that he's singing Joan and James, right? Spoke to that Grenadian cultural foundation, right? but so he has definitely came to flower in Trinidad. Valentino, Sparrow, yes, maybe 2 years old. Bomber's brother, King Solomon, right? So many of the artists, I mean, Super's family coming from Tivoli, maybe Godfrey always share something there, right? You know, so that Grenada has given Trinidad and the Caribbean on the whole a lot of, you know, people who have done tremendous things to Calypso. So it is no wonder that a concert stage in Grenada is receiving the kind of attention and so on. And I just would, we would want it to stay that, so that what we have to always do is identify the some of the reasons and make sure that we keep those things alive and so on. You know, I was telling Dina that because she basically does a lot of local cuisine, and she has given that local cuisine the respectability that it could be out there on the forefront, and you can see on a daily basis locals coming into that space and patronizing. You know, there is no unlike, again, that is, I mean, I don't want to be too critical of our space, but you know, you cannot go any and everywhere and find that kind of cuisine on a regular basis, breakfast, lunch, and so on. You know, it is just so amazing. And then to have a show that not only have the quality of artists on stage, but that quality in terms of cuisine waiting for you at halftime. You know, it's an amazing combination.
No, it is. And you know, I just want to go back, because Panther spoke about the love. When you go to dinners, you feel that. And all of these things transcends, and you know, there are so many things, Val, and you mentioned it, that you know, you can pinpoint that has sort of fitted in to the Legends space, that you know, it creates the kind of environment that people just want to be part of. Just want to be part of. Panther, Elimas Gilbert, Inspector, he is extending congratulations to you, and he says that it is nice to know that you have family from Sauterne. Inspector is from St. Patrick as well.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Yes, indeed. So, you know, it is just so wonderful. But Val, let me ask you all, the moving of Legends from July, in the heart of Carnival, to November, end of October, November. What's your take on it? Do you think that move is a good move in terms of creating an additional avenue for our Calypsonians to ply their trade? Because generally after Carnival in August, that's it. The independence competition is on a much smaller scale than the March Gras. So that there isn't much going on, and you find just a few Calypsonians may be involved in the independence competition. But now you have Legends in Concert close to the end of the year, where, you know, annually different artists would have the opportunity to perform and do their thing. What's your thought on that, on that movement and placing Calypso just before the Christmas season?
I definitely like the idea of moving Legends away from the hullabaloo and activity around Carnival, you know, so it doesn't collide and come close to everything that is Carnival, right? And it's just another Carnival show. So that I definitely appreciate the idea of a Legends in Concert having its own space and time on the calendar, you know, and what that could mean. So it could definitely mean that people can plan in advance for it, knowing that it's going to come, you know, somewhere late October, early November. so that they have that window, and it's not caught up into carnival, because when if you're overseas and you come home for carnival, there are so many activities happening around the same time that you could possibly miss a Legends in concert, because you have to be somewhere in Simone or somewhere in Tivoli. Something is happening and you want to go and see it, and you say, well, I've seen a Legend in concert already, so let me go and see this, because I might so it's not clashing with anything there, or that is within that whole Spice Mass space. So that I definitely like that, so that we can also grow it further, in terms of what it means to have a Legends in concert, and because we are always looking to push that envelope further, right? Because it's just not a concert in Grenada. It is about keeping that Caribbean culture alive, keeping the artists alive, and their work, because their work is so integral to our sense of being. As always, after many years, I remember conversations with the artists who are coming to Grenada, Winston So and Lovin There and so on. And Lovin There telling me, he has been a calypso lover, right? Yes, that Mentor is their version of calypso, but when you listen to his sound and he tells you that, I've always loved calypso, you can hear that element of calypso within his storytelling and so on. So that I totally appreciate the fact that Legends has found a space for itself. For itself.
Panther, I'd like to hear your take on it, but also we've also moved it from the Saturday night, because initially it was held on the Saturday night from 7:30, and it would go up to sometimes midnight or even a little later.
Yes, sir.
But the moving of it from July to the end of October, November, and then also the moving of the time earlier. So we moved from 7:30 to 5 in the afternoon on the Sunday afternoon. Do you think that has worked for it this time?
Yes, it has worked for it, because, as I said before, our calypso lovers are really mature people. And mature people like to come out on a Sunday evening, put on their dandan and come out. Saturday evening has its place, but Sunday evening is more applicable to the mature people. They come out, and then, as Balton said, you have it away from the Spice Mass. You have it in a space by itself, and it is holding its own. So it's a very, very positive move on behalf of Legends.
Right. Yeah, we did get that kind of feedback. That some of the mature folks, it was becoming a little difficult for them going into the late nights, and becoming restless. But most people, once you start going up in age, by 10. You want to go. You want your bed. You want to go and lie down. You know what I mean? Even if you don't fall asleep, but you want to go and lie down, maybe in front of your television or some kind of thing. And we felt that the show going past that, or 2 hours past 10 o'clock, was becoming a little burdensome. And so talking to people and listening to them, we made the move. And I think I have to agree that I think it did work. It did work well, So as Scholar said, Legends has found its place. Yeah. And we I just want to talk a little bit about Scholar. While everybody held their own, but he has a way, and a lot of people commented on the fact that he used some of his older songs, but used a lot of current issues to insert into them, and just made them so relevant, new again, using current issues, and I think it's a skill that should be commended. I mean, Val, you heard some of his you know, how he did his thing. He used voices. The voices was probably one of his very, very early songs, 93, thereabout, when he came on, first the Mardi Gras, and sang that song in Legends in 2025, over 30 years later, and, you know, completely renewed it with fresh lyrics and everything, and had people going.
Well, yeah, and I mean that is the power of Calypso, because the song may be no, I don't want to say dated. The song may have been sung at a particular time, 10, 15, 20 years ago, but because Calypso is always kind of in the present, speaking to you about an issue, the Calypsonian can always do a reprise of the work, change the lyric and make it so current that you know you're hearing a song that is 20 years old, but the issues are
very
still
current.
so relevant. And that is it. And I think Scholar has proven that he's able to do that time and time again. I know that in other versions of the show, you can hear him pulling current political things and inserting it in the song, and to the audience delight. Certainly he did that. As I say, this friend, my friend was telling me that his sister was really pleased with his humor, you know. And I guess for someone who agreed and who has been abroad for a while coming back, now I guess she is reconnecting with the flavor and so on and satire that he is moving into his calypsos and getting a new appreciation for it and so on. So you know, it's great. But that is the power of calypso. That it always in a way could speak to you in the present, as Panther would do with his misprint. You know, could always add particular things, line that updates it always and does not make it
keep it current. Keep it current. Yeah. But I'll tell you this though, and while we've gotten to Panther, you know, I mean, while I'm very familiar with a lot of his songs, but for me, it was that kitsch melody that did it for me. That kitsch medley. I mean, I from the time the band hit Rainorama, I mean, I had to get up. I had no choice. I had to get up. I mean, it was just so. I mean, it came in there, and that beat and kitsch and I mean, and everything was just. I don't know how best to describe it, but what I can say, that did it for me. That did it for me. That did it for me. Rainorama into Sugar Boom Boom. I mean, Sugar Boom Boom is a timeless favorite. I mean, it's one of the songs that it's like a Nelson Me Lover, or them kind of things. Explain as Lorraine and Stalin Black Man come out to party. Sugar Boom Boom is one of those that from the time you hear it, something happens.
Yeah. I mean, before Panther comes in, I mean, if you look at Sugar Boom Boom or take Sugar Boom Boom out, it's really a kind of amazing story, right? Because we locate the development of soca in the 70s, Shorty 73 in Drani, and by the time 1975, Sweet Music and so on, and that development. But here it is that Kitchener, around that period, the 70s, has done a song, Sugar Boom, which was the biggest soca song, or still probably is one of the biggest soca songs ever in terms of sales, right? And Kitchener is a traditional Calypsonian. So that you talk about soca and being the young thing and so on. And you can't get away from the power of Sugar Boom Boom. I remember as a young adult listening to the Jacksons when they came to Trinidad. doing their version of Sugar Boom Boom.
Yeah.
At the Queen's Park Savannah. Yes.
I've never heard that one. That is
Yes, I was there in person. I think about 1978 or somewhere down there. Yeah, Jacksons came to Trinidad, and they're doing their version of Sugar Boom Boom, right?
I remember when this man came to, Sam Stone was.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Swamp Dog,
yes,
Swamp Dog, yes, Swamp Dog.
In one of them PA places in Chagaramas he performed, and he sang.
Yeah.
All dry. When you get it, come on.
That's the thing, Calypso has so many beautiful stories, which you can tell from all different angles, and it's just so wonderful, so wonderful.
But when you intimated to me that you're going to pay some honor or appreciation to my Golden Jubilee in Calypso, I told myself immediately, I said, but you can't go on the stage and inject something from the man that taught you the ropes, the man that took you under his wings from the get-go, the man who's actually responsible for even celebrating 50 years today. So you can't go on a stage where they honoring you for 50 years and you don't bring a Kitchener experience to the stage. And that is why I asked you if I could sing a Kitchener little medley.
But of course, in fact, I was listening to the I was going through, because usually, like when we get the artists to perform, I would go through their repertoire, like listen the songs, and try to decide on which ones would be most appropriate. And I heard the Where the Money Went and Sugar Boom Boom.
Yes.
And I said, I think when I listened to the live performance, I said, but that is the end. And then you suggested Rainorama, and then Rainorama was even better and even more relevant for what we were doing. I mean, Where the Money Went has a little political thing to it. So, but at the end there, a nice little party vibes where people like to leave, dancing and feeling good, and Rainorama and Sugar Boom Boom. You just couldn't have gotten a better combination.
Yes.
You couldn't have.
And to pay that respect to Kitchener for bringing me into the Calypso world and guided me up to the time he died in 2000. Always there with Pink Panther. When I make the finals in 1998, when I look backstage the police band, I see this man in the middle of the police band giving them the timing for me, That etched in my memory and wouldn't go, you see. So I was real happy that you allowed me to sing that little medley and to bring Kitchener into the Legends 19, concert. It was really nice.
You're talking Kaiso, you're talking legends. I mean, you people like Kitch and Sparrow and Stalin and others. Any opportunity to insert them, I mean, how could you refuse that? You can't. You just can't. How do you do that? According to the young fellow, what's his name? Young brother. Who does that?
Brother.
Who does that?
But I think that as Panther celebrates 50,
yes,
keep coming to a time when came into Calypso at a time when Kitchener is still there and Pretend and so many others, so that Panther 50 years in Calypso, rubbing shoulders with Kitchener and Pretender and the Jazzies and the Woodley and people who made the Calypso art form what it is, or made the show of Calypso as a product,
Yes.
what it is. Tell us something about that. I mean, a number of them are no longer around, and Calypso is what it is now. But we're not dealing with the negativity of Calypso and why it has descended there. But what is that experience of being mentored or helped along by these
greats,
iconic personalities? I mean, I'm sure that, Stalin is still singing at Kitchener and Valentino, and Kitchener is there himself. And I don't know whether you had any rub shoulders at the time when you came in with Melody.
Yes,
so on, but
MC.
Yeah. So tell us something about that.
Melody was the MC, and there was a guy from Antigua, King Obstinate.
Right.
He was there. Well, Swallow wasn't spectacular. But the thing is, with Kitchener, Bob Marley have a song that asks the questions. Could you be loved?
Yeah.
I think how I was able to get that baton to pass to me from Kitchener is because I could have been loved, because I had respect. You see, never one day I said damn in front of Kitchener or take a drink in front of Kitchener. It was always a respectful relationship, and I think that encouraged him to help me. You see, unlike what we've seen today, where the young Calypsonians, most of them I come across, they have Calypso start with them. They don't care about who went before. They come in at 10, they come to the show, they see you, they won't even say good night, nothing like that, and that is very, very disturbing. If you really want the Calypso to evolve in the right way, you have to have that respect. So I will admonish the young Calypsonians, the emerging generation of Calypsonians. Remember, it didn't start with you. Have respect for those that went before you, living and dead. You understand? So you find today, Chocolate like Panther, this one like Panther, Shadow had me in his concert. Well, don't talk about Stalin. All the senior bands, I want to believe that they love me because I could have been loved.
Very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. So Val, we've the 19th anniversary has gone while still in the memories of a lot of the people, and we getting ready now for 20 years. This is significant. 20 years doing this, it is significant. The truth is, sometimes the thought has crossed my mind, but how long are you going to continue doing this? And when you after this one, it's very encouraging. It is very encouraging when you get these kind of performances and you have people who still come out and enjoy the art form. It is encouraging. But we have a call on the line. Let's go to the telephone and take a call. Kaiso talk. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, caller.
How are you doing?
Good.
Boy, I enjoy this program so much, What is unbelievable, Just because I'm a die-hard Kaiso fan,
Right.
I could listen. I mean, I support I support them guys right through, Even from Golden Tiger and all them guys come right up, And what this guy talk about there, right? I mean, I watch it actually go through me blood, I mean, them young guys, they have no respect for the seniors, and they just think that it start with them, but it does not, And if the AFAM have to go, then they must have some respect for the seniors, They must, So I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I don't really understand. I mean, even the young artists and them ask them who is them senior, ask them who is them senior that has gone before. They have no idea, you know. And if the art form have to grow, then they must know about these people and them. And the next thing, and the next thing, right? I mean, that just seem like all you ever think about, okay, expanding that to, okay, like having it in other islands. I mean, that's just my, idea.
Thanks a lot. Yes, indeed. Caller. Val, it's coming up again. It has been coming up over and over and over, and it continues to come up. Taking legends in concert, as you said, pushing the envelope.
Pushing the envelope to another country. It always sounds as a good idea because, I mean, one thing people like is a level of success.
Yeah.
So you look at legends and you see some level of success and you say, wow, maybe this could be exported or transported to another space. The thing about it is that you will have to get people like-minded to latch on to do the thing. And not to be negative, therein lies the problem.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it appears,
Definitely. The problem we work easily. Right, I was telling Panther, he said, God, legend is a success, behind the stage and in front of the stage. I say, yeah, but, I say one of the things is that Godfrey and myself communicate about everything. I mean, we throw ideas, we bounce things off, we have a discussion about things in a way that other people who are doing the same thing may not have discussions about it and in depth. So there is not just about the show, but about the form and doing things that would spotlight and highlight the form in a way that we think that the form needs to be highlighted, because the form needs not only to be preserved, but to grow.
That's right.
And how do we get the form to grow? Panther mentioned the lack of respect, and I don't want to say disrespect, but the lack of respect. And the lack of respect can easily come from the fact that certain kinds of traditions are not passed on.
That's true.
That it becomes more about coming into the space to compete and to win money, right? Yeah. And to do all that is necessary to win the money, but it is not about being part of a cultural continuum.
Yeah, that's true.
And what that is about, so that those are the things that have to be investigated, so that within the legends frame, there is a respect for that continuity. There's a respect for artists. You mentioned, about my handling of Prince. That is compassion, that is due to him because of seniority and everything and respect for the work. So there is nothing I would not do.
I quote all the time now.
Yeah, to ensure that he is comfortable and he can perform and so on. That's respect and love for the art form.
Definitely. So well, we kind of getting out of time, but
yes.
I just wanted to again say thanks to all of the people, and while the Calypsonians came on stage and perform and had the crowd going. That's just one part of it, but there are a lot of other people who are involved in ensuring that the night was successful. We had our people at the door. who ensured that the people got to the seats. Our special invited guests, were escorted, our ushers, Junie and Judine and Karina and Janisha, Noella, Anita, Janice, Giselle, Chan, Kareem, our security officers who worked with them, and everybody else. I don't have all the names, but I mean, these people, they play such an important role. And one of the things that I don't know if Panther you noticed, but on the 3 occasions you've been on Legends, I'm sure you noticed that the team has not changed.
No,
it is the same team, and yes. we've grown like a family, and yes. So everybody knows what they have to do. Nobody has to be calling me and asking me or calling Val. We all have a role to play. And so when a question needs to be asked, it's asked. But yes. Everyone understands what is involved, they know what has to be done, and they do it. And that has, over the years spilled over, and it has become better. So there was a time when, coming close to the show, we would have to, call a meeting and say to people, do this, do that. That I don't recall us having any such meeting in recent times. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because everybody knows what has to be done. If there is something that probably needs some kind of clarity, well, a call may be made or something like that. But other than that, the family is working. Things are happening, and we just want to keep that going. Make sure people are happy, they're comfortable at the end of the night. When they leave feeling good about themselves, that they've done what they had to do. They've seen the success, and they hear the joy from the patrons. And I think this is what does it for everybody. This is what does it.
You do have an excellent team, professional, compassionate, calling to make sure you had your lunch yet, on point on every step of the way, you know what I mean? So I must say hats off to you and your team, Kareem, Chan, everybody, really, really nice. And I'm sure that, you'll shy away when I talk about this, Godfrey, but you all have the capacity, with the help, necessary help, to take Legends to the world stage, and this is going to be a real turning point again for Calypso. Put Calypso back on the world stage. It's only Legends could do that. Only Legends have the capacity and the credibility, and most of all, heart. That's why I made mention of you and Val when all you meet up, because I know that meeting wasn't by chance. You understand? It was not by chance. Though your 20th coming up nice, yes, and you look beyond that to take Legends to the Apollo, take the Legends to the world stage, because it's a product, right? It's like an product.
Well, the work has been done. The work has been done, and I think the work will do what it has to do, and would take Legends where it has to go. So I am not worried about that. There's some things in life you have to work hard at, but I also believe that there are some things that you have to allow it to take its course and chart its own path. It's like a river. Sometimes the river may have one path, another time it takes. So there are some things you allow it to take its course, and I believe Legends is probably can take care of itself and do that. So we definitely looking forward to the years to come. So guys, look,
don't use that word, man. Not probably, man. That is a kind of a negative word. Probably. No.
So listen.
No.
So
take a line from Papa Jerry's song. You are the ruler, the Calypso ruler. You understand?
So let me tell you what I want you to do. Now, I plan to sing Kaiso next year, but you see that word? Probably. What? I want you to take that word. You, Panther, take that word. Make a Calypso, send it for me, and I go sing it next year. Make a Kaiso with the word probably. Use that as the starting point, the theme, and send it back for me. And I go enter the. I go jump in the ring.
I hold you to that.
I will jump in the ring. So guys, that's it. So Panther, 30 seconds to say your last words before we wrap.
Okay, well, I must say that I am still on a high from that show. The little, the clip that you said went viral there with the Calypsonians, some Grenadiers thing along with the misprint is a classic example of respect for the senior Calypsonians. Them fellas big too, Papa Jerry and them is big men, but they know Pink Panther been there before them, and they have that love and that thing. So that is what we need in Calypso, because Calypso is a spirit. It came from Africa, it came from West Africa, and we have to always pay respect to where it came from. Pay respect to our ancestors, love one another, appreciate everybody who playing their part in the scene. You, Valton, everybody, as you talk about the person by the door, the band, everybody have a part to play, and everybody must be recognized and appreciated for the part that they play. And most importantly, the people that support Calypso, the people that love Calypso, we must find ways and means to reciprocate that love to them.
Yes, indeed. Val, your final.
Yeah. Well, I just want to end with what I started. I think that legend has grown in that Grenadian soil environment, and that is responsible for a whole lot in terms of what it has become. So that I wanna take hats off to the environment of Grenada, for allowing the gods to come together and create such a product called Legends that can show us something about ourselves as Caribbean people, and as Panther and others are intimating that it has the ability to move beyond the shores, but because the shores are so integral in what it has become, we have to be able now to probably extract the things that can be exportable, but we can't take it wholesale, the whole thing, and move with it, but right. Those elements that can be extracted and so all praises to the environment for growing this thing so organically and so on, and we respect that and we'll continue to do that.
Definitely.
So that's my thing.
Yeah, thank you guys so very much. A pleasure indeed chatting, Kaiso. As always, folks, we thank you all, our viewers, our listeners. Thank you so very much. Those of you on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, we appreciate you. And we will be back next Wednesday to continue talk Kaiso. We're getting into Christmas, and so we would find a way to infuse a little parang in there as well, because it's all part, it's just another branch of the art form, It started with Kaiso, and of course, like a river, there are little tributaries that, join and move out and all of that. So we go find a way to infuse a little parang and maybe discuss the history of it. There's a lot of talk to talk. So we'll be back next Wednesday. So thank you very much. And hey, we're looking forward to be back with you tomorrow evening right here on K105 FM. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Val, Panther, all the best. Thanks again. And we look forward to chatting soon again. All the best.
Yes, everyone. Have a good evening.
Yes,
bye.